It's time for Around the Ozarks News, brought to you by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Blue Current, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
All right, good morning to you. One final time in 2024. We'll say goodbye this evening and welcome in a new year. Thanks for being with us.
It's hard to believe.
It is hard to believe, yeah. We appreciate you being with us all year long and this morning. So we'll do some news.
All right, today is the last day to pay your personal property and real estate taxes without penalty. I know that's what you wanted to start your day off with, right? You can pay by phone, mail, or in person. And of course, in some counties, you can also pay online. Now, if you don't pay or mail your check by end of business today, you will face a penalty and an interest charge. So get on it. Yeah. The Department of Labor is giving out some big grant money, and OTC, or Ozarks Tech, as it's now called, is one of the recipients. They'll get about $5.7 million. The government says the goal is to help community colleges equip workers with the skills to strengthen the workforce infrastructure.
All right. Good for them. Hey, there are several new laws that go into effect in the new year starting tomorrow, January 1st. One of them you should know about requires you to only use your phone in the car hands-free. If you don't, and you're caught texting or calling or swiping while you're behind the wheel, you can be fined. First-time offense, $150. Then that increases up to $500 per offense.
Ooh.
It is, you should know, a secondary offense, though, meaning police cannot pull you over just for that, but can add it on to a primary violation like speeding. So if you get caught speeding and you're texting, that's double. Another new law that goes into effect tomorrow sets a new minimum wage for the state of Missouri. That wage is $13.75 for workers of all private and non-exempt businesses. That's a $1.45 increase from the current minimum wage of $12.36. And then coming up in 2026, it will increase to $15 an hour, the minimum wage in Missouri. Also tomorrow, businesses with 15 or more employees are required to provide 1 hour of paid sick leave for every 30 hours worked. And another new law that goes into effect tomorrow in Missouri changes criminal expungements. People can now apply for more expungements, which remove criminal convictions from public records. So those are some of the new laws going into effect tomorrow for 2025.
All right. Another group of sea turtles have made their way back. Group has made its way back, I should say, to Wonders of Wildlife. All of them are seriously sick, but they made it to WOW and they're going to be okay. All the crews at WOW will work to rehabilitate the sea turtles. In the last 4 years, they have successfully rehabbed more than 40 sea turtles. So these latest 20 surely will be okay eventually. Now, the latest round came from the northeastern U.S. coastline, where an apparent drop in the water temperature suddenly caused many of those sea turtles to be stranded. And so they now need to be rehabbed back to health. And so in Springfield they go, which is the craziest thing, right? That they would go from the ocean to Springfield to middle of America.
Right, the middle of the country.
Yes.
That's
Big
cool.
Cedar, yes, is always improving. I mean, it's already, what can you improve upon? Well, just ask Johnny Morris. They seem to be improving all the time. And now the Big Cedar Nature Golf is going to debut a new course this summer. It'll be an 18-hole course, par 3, called Cliffhangers. And It will be the 6th golf course in Ridgedale with the property. Now, just like the name suggests, Cliffhangers, there will be just that. There's going to be some drastic elevation changes, some very severe slopes, and movement on the greens. So your ball's not going to sit still, sounds like.
Sounds difficult, yeah.
Yes, it does. The course is going to run adjacent to Tiger Woods' Payne Valley, and it'll have some views of the waterfalls and the beautiful Ozark Mountains.
It's incredible what he's doing out there.
It is incredible.
A golf destination for sure.
I got to tell you, I'm very sad that we never made it to the golf course or the golf cart tour for Christmas because I heard it was absolutely spectacular.
Oh, for Christmas.
But we live our lives entirely too busy running 3 kids around like monkeys.
Yeah, we've done the golf cart tour, but just not at Christmas time, I guess.
I know, no, just not at Christmas time. And I've heard that the lights were just phenomenal. So, and I'm sure, can you even imagine?
All right. Next year.
Next year. Sounds like a date.
Yeah. Hey, drivers in Taney County, heads up. This is for next week. The Missouri Department of Transportation is rehabbing the bridge on westbound Route 76 over the railroad just north of Branson. So that will be closed along 76 between Route 248 and 376 starting on Monday. So next Monday, the work should take a couple of months, but if you drive there, you probably already know it. The rest of us will be surprised whenever we stumble upon it, even though I just told you.
Right. Apparently, Springfield has a very large Lego fan base. Are you a Lego fan? There's a big store, and it's been around for a couple years in town here, and they are now expanding. It's called Bricks and Minifigs. Is that what it's called? Minifigs? Minifigs.
Yes.
This is how much I don't know about Legos. But it is a franchise. This one is on East Battlefield, just south of the mall. But the store recently was at capacity, and they had a line outside. That's how many people were there for the Legos. That company, by the way, has about 100 stores nationwide. And so the one in Springfield is getting bigger.
Yeah, I've been by there several times, and we did a story about something like a giant Millennium Falcon or something being stolen. Somebody walked out with it. That's the first time we did a story about the store. But man, that they're expanding means they're doing well. Good for them.
Yeah, it's exciting. I love that. I mean, Legos, like, hello, they're in the National Toy Hall of Fame, which, by the way, took them longer than it should have to get into that. But I mean, Legos are iconic.
They are iconic. Our boy never was big into Legos, though. He did it for a short amount of time. We did some things together, but he was never a huge Legos guy.
Right. Do you remember Beyblades?
Of course. Yeah.
Do you remember how obsessed he was at one point?
Yeah, those were a little more active. You spun them and they would battle. You could battle people with your Beyblades. Yeah. He loved those things.
Yeah, that was, I mean, I just remember it was that period of time when some of his friends wanted Legos and he never wanted Legos. He wanted more Beyblades.
Beyblades. Yeah.
Yep. Whatever that was.
Well, this is it for 2024. Can you believe it? We wrapped up another year.
Yeah, tomorrow is 2025. Do you want some life advice?
Me or them?
No, them.
Okay. I feel like I get it all the time, but go ahead and share it with them.
It's unsolicited, so I don't know if they want it or not. But listen, you can cut the podcast off after the news if you want. It's fine. This isn't news. This is life advice. I always feel like people ask me about my workout regimen, and it just makes me laugh out loud because I'm not some personal trainer, nor could I be. But this is what I know. If you have a fitness goal with the rest of America, don't start too big. 5 minutes a day, literally 5, will change your life. 5 minutes a day. That should be your commitment, not 55. Eventually you'll get there. But whether it's, reading your Bible or it is working out or starting something that you should be doing that you're not currently, like one of those 2 things, perhaps, 5 minutes. That's where you should start.
Okay.
Got it.
There
I once
go.
trained a guy who worked out 7 minutes a day. I got him to download the 7-minute workout app. And he was like, that's ridiculous. There's no way. And he got in a really great shape. And then he actually started enjoying working out. Changed his life.
Wow. Can't imagine that.
Just telling you. I didn't develop the app, but there's a reason why it exists. You know what I mean?
Unsolicited and free advice. It didn't cost you anything but a few seconds of your life that you'll never get back. All right. Hey, thank you for being with us in 24. We certainly enjoyed it. We enjoy still the opportunity to bring you the news. So we're grateful to everybody at Around the Ozarks. We're grateful to our sponsors, the Springfield Green County Park Board, Blue Current, and Thompson Sales. We hope they had a fantastic year this year and hope they have an even better year next year.
Yeah, and we hope you shop them or take part in the park board activities if you don't, or sign up with Blue Current, because I'm telling you, we could not do it without them. So thank you.
Yep.
And we'll see you next year, everybody. Actually, we won't. We won't see you tomorrow, right?
Well,
Are we
it'll
off
be
tomorrow?
next year. The next time we see them,
It'll
will
still be next year, but I mean, not like.
It'll be the second.
Okay, there you go. All right,
Yeah,
just
on,
double checking.
on the second. So
All right.
We'll see you then. Happy New
Bye.
Year.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Command Family Medicine and John's Heating and Air. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Tuesday. It is December 31st, 2024, the last day of the year. And I guess at least first, I want to give you a sincere thanks for listening to Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather here in 2024, whether you're listening on the website, on the app, on Facebook, or on aroundtheozarks.com or from the Around the Ozarks app. Thank you very much. I sure appreciate you being here, and I'm looking forward to a lot of good times in 2025. There's going to be a lot of weather to talk about in 25. The new year shaping up to be very active and very cold across the Ozarks. We're getting a bit of a taste of that cool down today. Temperatures as of this morning are not so bad. In fact, most are above freezing, mid and upper 30s across the Ozarks as of 5 a.m., but things are going to change for us, and we have much colder temperatures in place. Of course, last night, that cold front came through, windy as it did, and temperatures, well, they're going to be much cooler behind this frontal boundary. We're talking about numbers that stay in the low 40s for highs. However, factor in a wind at 35 miles an hour, maybe some isolated gusts to 40, and it is going to feel really cold today. We're talking about temperatures feeling closer to freezing, even though actual numbers may be in the 40s. Active weather for much of the Northeast across the region today, and colder air is set to continue to pool into the Ozarks and much of the country as we head into later parts of the 7-day forecast. Today, we'll see high winds gusting to 35 miles an hour, cooler to near average temperatures for the remainder of this work week. And then the weekend looks kind of interesting. We'll get to that in just a second. Today, what I'm expecting is highs in the 40s. Tomorrow, to start the new year, there may be some places that only stay in the upper 30s. Morning wind chills on Wednesday for the new year. If you're not off work, you're getting up early, keep in mind wind chill values are going to be in the mid-teens. If you get to stay home, consider yourself lucky, because it's kind of a rude awakening there for the start of 2025. That may be some foreshadowing too for the month of January. It's looking cold on the whole. In fact, the long range models are really indicating that we will see some cooler weather, especially as we head into the second week of January. Today, we have temperatures that are in the 40s, but we're going to be pretty chilly for the rest of the week. This is not too far off of average, but as I mentioned, when you factor in the wind chill is what's going to be pretty brutal. The next big storm system, it arrives this weekend, and I'm watching that closely. I'm talking January 4th and 5th. There could be some wintry weather. You've probably heard some rumblings of that. It's only Tuesday. It's still too early to start, talking about splitting up what kind of winter weather you can expect. At least right now, I can tell you that the possibility is there for rain, maybe sleet, maybe some freezing rain, maybe some snow. It's going to be dicey, and it's all going to depend on that temperature. So pay attention to the forecast through the rest of the week and the weekend. I'll be fine-tuning that for you as the week draws on. I do expect that we will see some wintry weather, though, at least by Sunday of this weekend. But the real message here is that we're just remaining weather aware. Continue to monitor the forecast for updates. Consider potential travel impacts. If you have flights or something, it may be more important that you keep a really close eye on this forecast track. But it's not until Saturday night into Sunday, into early Monday of next week, that this is what we're talking about. This storm system, though, may bring wintry weather to portions of the region, and travel impacts are possible, but confidence in forecast details still very low at this point. It just looks like potentially somebody in the Midwest could see some winter weather. So this is just an early heads up that I may be detailing that more as the week wears on. Around the country, there's a lot of different things making headlines. One of the biggest is the critical fire weather conditions happening for the Southern Plains and portions of Southern California. Snow showers for the Great Lakes are in the forecast today. And then it's much colder for a large portion of the country. The cool down that we're experiencing here in the Ozarks is not just isolated to us. It looks like we're going to see some cooler weather everywhere. And the forecast from January 6th through 12th looks like much of the Midwest and the East Coast, in fact, are going to see temperatures well below average. Models are showing a few days of temperatures around 15 to 20 degrees below normal on average. So if models are accurate, average highs could be in the 20s and lows could be in the single digits for next week. There will also, of course, be more potential for winter weather because when the temperature drops so much, well, all that can fall from the sky is winter weather. When it's so cold, it just stays frozen. So stay tuned. We might have a fun January ahead. I say fun. I know not everyone likes the winter weather, but I do for the most part. It's difficult to forecast it. I kind of like the challenge. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister trivia question for the day. Here it is, the one that I left you with yesterday. Maybe a gimme for some of you, but maybe not for others. I don't know. The question yesterday, who was the first U.S. president born in a hospital? And the options that I gave you were A, John F. Kennedy, B, Jimmy Carter, C, Dwight D. Eisenhower, or D, Bill Clinton. Well, believe it or not, it was the man himself. A lot of headlines the last couple of days. May he rest in peace. B, Jimmy Carter. It was the first president, or he was the first president, born in October of 1924 in Plains, Georgia. His mother worked as a registered nurse at the hospital where he was then born, and he was the first American president born in a hospital. Apparently, there were a few others born at home after that, but then the last many have been born in a hospital as well. Here's the question that I'll leave you with for tomorrow. I bet some of you will be watching the ball drop tonight. How large is the Times Square New Year's Eve ball in diameter? Do you think it's 4 feet, 6 feet, 12 feet, or 24 feet? You can submit your guess at aroundtheozarks.com. By the way, we are breaking tomorrow for the holidays, so no podcast for you on Wednesday. I'll be back with you, though, on Thursday morning. We'll be talking more about that potential winter weather for the weekend. I'll have an update on that. I want you to have a fantastic New Year's Eve, and I'll see you in the new year. Thanks again for being here, and thanks to our sponsors, Command Family Medicine and John's Heating and Air.